Hello students, you are welcome to today's class. We are considering algebraic expression, and in the course of this study we should be able to differentiate between algebraic expression and equation, and also we should be able to expand algebraic expression and also find the word HCF of algebraic terms. In the course of today, we are to know the difference between algebraic expression and equation, expand algebraic expressions, and find the HCF of algebraic terms. So, for us to be able to expand algebraic expression, we should be able to differentiate between algebraic expression and algebraic equation. We said algebraic is the use of alphabet to represent number. For instance, look at this. We have 2 times 22 gives us what? 44. But if I want to hide information, let's assume that I want to hide the figure 22. I cannot say that what? 2 times y will give us what? 2y. So this 2y now is known as what? Algebraic expression. So we consider algebraic expression as the combination of numbers and alphabet using addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. The following below are examples of algebraic expression. X is an algebraic expression: x plus 5, 3x minus 12, xy minus 13y, 20x squared plus 5x, x squared, a plus x squared, a minus bx. They are all algebraic expression. But when you add equal to any of these expressions, it will become an equation. So in mathematics, whenever the word expansion is said, it means there is a bracket or brackets to be what? Cleared. Anytime you hear expand in mathematics, you should know that what? There is a bracket that you need to remove. So when removing any bracket in mathematics, you don't just remove it as if you are removing your clothes. There are rules you will follow in what? Removing the bracket. What are the rules? The rules is that any item that is outside the bracket must multiply every item inside the bracket. I said for you to remove bracket in algebraic expression, the item outside the bracket will be used to multiply every item inside the bracket. So in the course of doing this, we have to recall our skill or our knowledge in directed numbers. You know that in directed numbers, we understand that there is no number that is neutral. There is no number that is neutral. It is either the number is positive or negative in nature. If peradventure sign is not attached to either the variable or to the number, it is clear to us that that number is positive in nature. So now we want to carry out some simple expansion. Let us look at example 1. Example 1, we say that what? Expand the following. A is what? X open bracket A minus B. B is what? Minus 2x open bracket 4y minus x. C is what? 5xy open bracket 1 plus 2y. D is minus 2a squared b open bracket minus b minus 2a. Now, from the initial, I told you that anytime you are carrying out multiplication, the item that is outside will multiply every item that is what? Inside. So now let's look at this. A, we have what? X open bracket A minus B. So that means that X will multiply what? A, and also X will multiply minus B. So the first thing we did is what? X times A gives us AX. I did not say XA. I said AX. Why did I put AX, not XA? You remember, if we have something like 2 times x, we will write 2x. But in algebraic expression, we say that whenever you have two or more variable as a term, you must express them in their alphabetical order. So since we have x times a, we can write xa because a comes before what? X. So that is why we are writing what? Ax. Then we also have what? We have multiplied x and a. So now we want to multiply x and minus what? B. So we have x times minus b. Instead of me writing x, I now identify the plus, the positive nature of x because of the negative nature of what? B. So plus times minus gives us minus, then x times b gives us minus b. So from the directed number, we know that what? X times minus and x, plus times minus and minus times plus, they are all what? Minus. So bringing the two items together, ax and minus bx, that means that if you have an expression like what? X open bracket a minus b, it will give you what? Ax minus bx. So let us look at example 2. Example 2, we have what? Minus 2xy to multiply what? 4y and minus x. So minus 2xy multiply 4y and minus s, we are going to obtain the following. Bam. We now have what? Minus 2xy times plus 4y. You have what? Plus minus times plus will give us minus. 4 times 2 will give us what? 8. Then xy times y. Xy times y, because we have yy, we know that what? The index, the result of the index will increase based on the index of the individual alphabet. So since the index of y here is 1 and the index of y in the other part is 1, so when you multiply them, it gives you 1 plus 1 is what? 2. So that is why we now have what? Minus 8xy squared. So now we also have minus 2xy times minus x. So minus 2xy times minus x, we have minus times minus is what? Plus. Then 2 times 1 is what? 2. X times x give us x squared, then y. So that simply means that minus 2xy times minus x will give us what? 2x squared y. So bringing the two expressions together, we have minus 8xy squared plus 2x squared y. But for us to make the expression more beautiful, the positive value can be what? Switch with the negative value. That is why I said it can be expressed as what? 2x squared y minus 8xy squared. So if you look at what? C, you look at D, it is the same thing applied. Yeah, we use 5xy to multiply 1. You know, 1, if you use 1 to multiply anything, it can't change the nature of that number. So that is why we still have what? 5xy. So we use 5xy again to multiply plus 2. It now gives us what? 10xy squared. So your result becomes what? 5xy plus 10xy squared. So the number, the D aspect, we have minus 2a squared b, open bracket, minus b minus what? 2a. So minus 2a squared b times minus b, minus times minus is what? Plus. 2 times 1 is what? 2. A squared b times a squared b times b gives us a squared b. A squared b times minus b gives us what? 2a squared 2a squared b. Now it's supposed to be 2a squared b squared and what? 2a squared 2a squared times minus 2a gives us what? 4 plus 4a cubed. So bringing the two together, we now have what? 2a squared b plus 2a squared b. 2a squared b plus, no, it's not plus 2a squared b again. is plus 4a cube. Sorry, we have 2a squared b plus 4a cube. Sorry, 2a squared b plus 4a cube. That is the final answer for D. So now let's look at example 2. We are to remove the brackets of the word following. We have what? 5t, 5 open bracket t plus 1 minus 3 open bracket t minus 1. So in this case, we also have to carry out the same operation the way we did first. 5 times t will give us 5t. 5 times plus 1 will give us what? 5. Minus 3 times t will give us minus 3t. Minus 3 times minus 1 will give us what? Plus 3. So bringing them together, we have what? 5t plus 5 minus 3t plus 3. So we rearrange by bringing the like terms close. So we now have 5t minus 3t will give us 2t, and 5 plus 5 plus 3 gives us what? 8. So now let us look at also b. B, when you multiply each of them, you have 2b times 2p times p will give us 2p squared, and 2p times 3 will give us what? 6p. Minus 3q times 2p will give us what? Minus 6pq. And minus 3q times minus q will give us what? Plus 3q squared. So bringing the results together, we now have this expression, which is what? 2p squared plus 6p minus 6pq plus 3q squared. So now we are looking at multiplication of two brackets. Two bracket means the two items that you are multiplying, they are all in what? Brackets. So when we have something like that, what we used to do is to split one of the bracket and you repeat the other one. You split one of the bracket, you repeat the other one. Now look at this example. We have p plus 3, open bracket, p plus 3, close bracket, open bracket, 2p minus q. So from this expression multiplying themselves, we need to what? Split one of them and we'll repeat the other one. So I pick to split p plus 3 and repeat what? 2p minus q. So now let's look at this. We have what? P open bracket 2p minus q plus 3 open bracket 2p minus what? Q. If you look at 2p minus q, it appears twice where p plus t is what? Splitted. So when you have something like this, you find out that I am bringing it back to our previous example that we've done before. So we use p to multiply 2p, we have what? 2p squared, and use p to multiply minus q, we have minus pq. Then the next bracket that we want to open is 3 that will open it. Then 3 times 2p will give us what? 6p, and then 3 times minus q will give us minus 3q. So bringing the expressions together, we now have what? 2p squared minus pt plus 6p minus 3q. Then let us look at example 3. Expand the following. So when you have this expansion, it's the same approach, which in this exercise, I choose to split 3 minus 5a and I repeat 2a plus what? B. So expanding them, we have what? 6a plus 3b minus 10a squared minus 5ab. So for us to arrange it in orderly form, that means that a squared, where the item that is carrying a squared, should either begin the expression or end it, because it is the highest degree. So that's why my final result becomes what? 6a plus 3b minus 5ab minus 10a squared. Another example here again, I choose to split what? X and minus y. so that I can repeat what? 3x squared minus 8y. So x times 3x squared will give us 3x cubed. X times minus 8y will give us minus 8xy. Minus y times x squared will give us 3 minus y times 3x squared will give us minus 3x squared y. And minus y times minus 8y will give us what? Plus 8y squared. I hope it is clear. I hope it is clear. So now we are looking at factorization. When you want to carry out factorization, there are items we need to know. For us to carry out factorization properly, we are going to do it in our next class. So the only item we need to do now is to find the HCF of what? Algebraic terms. To find the HCF of what? Algebraic terms. So in order to find the HCF of algebraic terms, we need to apply the idea we have in finding the HCF of numbers. So the HCF, our example one said we should find the HCF of the following, which is what? A is what? 42 and what? 36. Then in order to do this one, we have to look at the item that can divide through. So the item that can divide through is no, let us just look at it as the prime numbers that can divide through is the number we are going to use. So 2 can divide 42 and 2 can divide what? 36. So that is why I use 2 here to divide 42, I have 21, and I use 2 to divide 36, I have 18. So in the next step, 2 cannot divide because 2 cannot divide 21, but 2 can divide 18. But I said you can only use prime factors that can divide through. So now 3 can divide 21, and also 3 can divide what? 18. So when 3 divide 21, I have 7, and when 3 divide 18, I have what? 6. So the HCF of these items becomes what? 2. The HCF of this becomes what? 2 times 3 is equal to 6. Please, it is 6, not 6c. It is 6. So now let's look at example 2. Example 2, which is B, we have 4x squared y and 8x cubed y. So this item, we must only pick numbers that can divide through. We know that 2 can divide through. So I use 2 to divide 4 to give me 2x squared y, and 2 to divide 8 to give me 4x cubed y. So 2 can still divide through again. I still have what? X squared y, and 2 into 4, you have 2x cubed y. So you find out that 2 cannot divide through again. So we think of the next thing that can divide x squared y and also divide 2x cubed y. So we know that x can divide through, and x give us what? X squared, x into x squared give us x, then you bring down y. Then x into 2x cubed y gives us what? 2x squared y. X can also divide through. We have y, and we also have 2xy. So now x cannot divide through because x cannot divide y, but x can divide 2xy. So y into y will give me 1, and y into what? 2xy will give me what? 2x squared. So you see that the two final results obtained here, there is no common factor that can divide the two of them any further. So we will stop at this level and multiply 2 times 2 times x times y, which gives us what? 4x squared y. So the next example you are looking at is what? 6x cubed y squared z and what? 9xyz squared. So when you divide through, you have that 3 can divide 6, and as well 3 can divide what? 9. So therefore we have what? 2x cubed y squared z, and we have 3xy z squared. So the next item that can divide through, because two numbers cannot divide them because we have 2 and 3, which the two of them are what? Prime numbers. So the next thing we look at the variables. So the first variables here that will be suitable is what? X. So when you use x to divide 2x cubed y squared z will give us what? 2x squared y squared z. So x into what? 3xzy squared. We now have what? 3yz squared. So therefore, you use y again. You now have what? 2x squared yz, and we have what? 3z squared. So you find out that there is no y again to divide through. We only have z. So z into here will give us what? 2xy squared and what? 3z. So the HCF is what? 3 times x times y times z, which is what? 3xyz. So the next one is what? 24xy cubed and 6x squared y cubed. So the first thing we look at is 2. 2 into 8 will give us 12. 2 into 6 will give us 3. 3 into 12 will give us 4. 3 into 3 will give us what? 1. So the index, the variables are what? X, Y, Z cubed and what? X squared, Z, Y cubed. So we now have what? 3 to divide 12. We have 4. And 3 into 3 will give us what? 1. So we are done with numbers. Since we have 4 and we have 1, nothing can divide them again. So we look at the next variable, which is what? X. So x into x y cubed give us what? 4y cubed. And x into x squared y cubed will give us what? Xy cubed. So what do you think can divide through again? It is what? Y cubed. So when y cubed cancel y cubed, we have 4. Y cubed cancel y cubed, we have what? X. So our HCF is what? 2 times 3 times x times y cubed. That is why our HCF is what? 6xy cubed. So our final example is here, and we have an assignment here, which is what? Find the HCF of the assignment here is what? Find the HCF of the following: A, B, C, and D. Please do this assignment and submit it through my WhatsApp. Well, previously I couldn't say anything because I was trying to mark, but now I try to download an app that is helping me to mark. So please submit it through my WhatsApp line. I will be able to access it and mark it as early as possible. So thanks for watching. God bless you. Stay safe. Bye.